Hi everyone, so today we are just going to make a tier list for our Kingdom Impact classes. And yeah, this tier list is not really based on our Kingdom Impact's official announcements or anything. It is just my own opinion and my own observation. My S tier may be your, or could be your C tier, or my C tier could be your S tier. So yeah, it's just my opinion. If you have your own opinion, just comment it down. Let me know your thoughts about those classes. But if you agree with me, then that's okay also. So yeah, to start, we will have our first class over here. The what should we choose first? Okay, so I'm just gonna choose Dualist. And what do you think is the rank for the Dualist? Actually, Duelist, guys, as an F2P player or a low spending player, you actually need to spend a lot of resources for this class, since definitely this is one of the bursty classes in our Kingdom Impact. So a huge stat would be very much necessary in order for you to deal a huge burst damage, right? So yeah, I would think that if you're a whaler, you're gonna make it like full stats, like 300 skill damage, 300 damage to target, or 300 like a lot of cap on the stats. You were able to cap all the stats. I would say it's gonna be S tier. But for the POV of a F2P player, I would say it's just an average or a B tier. Now, there are a lot of reasons, because as an F2P player, you will need to do a lot of combos for your skill output, since for example, I asked my guildmate earlier about Dualist. He said that if you're not a whaler, you will need to stack something. You're going to stack a buff or something in order to deal a lot of damage for a specific skill. So that is one of the handicap of a F2P player using a Dualist. So probably as an average, there are other factors also. Dualist doesn't have that much AoE. He is not, or she is not, able to clear up mobs in a very quick way, unlike the other classes. And now overall, if you are going to maybe spend all your resources, you can probably go more than average. But for me, it is just average, to be honest, because it's quite what do we say, how do I say this, there are other classes that can outshine Duelist with the same gear if you are just using an average gear. For example, just plus 20 everything. The other classes can outshine the Duelist in a easiest way. Like for example, here comes the what should we get? Okay, here comes the Wizard. For me, Wizard, of course, is above average. Even though you have an average gear for the Wizard itself already deals a lot of damage. Even after, having 2 nerfs, the Wizard is still dealing decent amount of damage if you have a decent gear. And you don't need, for me, you really don't need to wail on the Wizard if you You know, if you know what you're doing with your skills, well, in all honesty, if you are an ice wizard, you will only be using 2 skills or 4 skills, including the buff or rejuvenating. So yeah, well, actually, if wizard was not nerfed, I would probably put it on S. But after the nerf, the times 2 nerf, I would say it's A. I would not say it's average because let's say, for example, if Dualist and Wizard have the same plus 20 set, I don't think that Dualist can out DPS the Wizard. So the Wizard can easily out DPS the Dualist if they have the same gears. You know, you get the gist. So basically, even though Wizard was nerfed 2 times, it is still good, right? All right, and it's very easy to play, very minimal combo, you know. And yeah, we have our third one, and this would be the Stellar Sphere. The Stellar Sphere, I would say, I would say it's also above average. You know why? Because a Stellar Sphere physical build is really, really strong, guys. Especially if you have a level 60 mastery, it is very strong. It is going to, increase your damage output by a lot, guys. So yeah. What else? We have the next one. Well, in all honesty, guys, the Stellar Sphere can be an average class together with the Dualist, but there are times that, based on my observations or opinion, a Stellar Sphere really outshines a Dualist in a way that it does more AoE, it does more like clearing capabilities in the 5-man party dungeons. So I do think that if we are talking about clearing dungeons in a solo way, or if you're going to solo a 5-man party dungeon, I would say the Stellar Sphere would outshine the Dualist, or it would clear really, really fast, or faster than the Dualist, right? Just because the AoE and the burst of the Stellar Sphere are pretty much decent, as the same as a Wizard, fire or ice. So yeah. Okay, so now we have the next one over here. We have the Ronin. I would say Ronin is also I cannot say if it's average. Maybe it's lower than average. I'm so sorry for those Ronin users at the moment, but I don't really see Ronins outshining other classes in dungeons. I'm just being honest here. Most of the time when I'm doing dungeons, I can always see Wizard, Stellar Spheres, maybe sometimes Dualist, but I've never seen Ronin, like, to be honest. I mean, I do think that there are Whaler Ronins that are in the game at the moment, but what if the Ronin Whaler is going to have a face-off with a Dualist Whaler? I do think the Dualist would win, to be honest, based on the burst mechanics of how a Dualist works. So that is why I put it lower than the Dualist. And yeah, maybe well, of course, when he or she is going to solo the dungeon, the 5-man party, the Ronin could be capable, but it's not as fast as Wizard and Stellar Sphere. So yeah, maybe this tier list is actually for F2P, or the classes that are capable to do solo in 5-man party in a very fast way, or in a faster way. So yeah, maybe that's it. And for our next one, we have our Star Color. Star Color, I would say it's automatically S tier. You know why? I really envy the nebula of the Star Color. It's really, really strong. The nebula of the star color is insanely strong. I do think that a lot of people really likes a star color just because how easily it can nuke the bosses, especially if the bosses doesn't move. So yeah, your playstyle is really crucial here, since if you are going to miss your nebula on the boss, you will not be able to deal more damage or deal any damage. I mean, you'll be losing a lot of damage because most of the huge damage output of the star color is from the nebula. So yeah, this is just a tier for assuming that you already mastered your class. For example, star color, if you mastered this one, I would say this is an S tier easily, because nebula is like one of the top skills that deals damage in the game. So with average damage the same as the other classes, I can say that it should be better than a wizard, or it should be better than stellar sphere. A star color can definitely clear the boss or kill the boss faster than these two right here, and the in letter A. So yeah, we have our next one, the floating cannons. Floating cannons have two different tiers, and I would say that the first tier, which is ice build, I would say it's just average. I mean, 5-man party wise, if you're just going to solo the dungeon, I would say it's an average. It's not really that fast, just because of the AoE limitations, or the AoE skills limitations. Even though they have 3 fire skills, I don't think it would match up with the capability of those 3 over here at the top. So yeah, if your floating cannon is ice, yes, definitely it is on B tier. If we are talking about clearing the dungeons solo, okay? No, but if the floating cannon is fire, I would say it's above average, because floating cannon fire has a lot of AoE. Maybe all of the skills are AoE. So I would say it's pretty much faster for them to clear the dungeons. But if we're talking about 1 versus 1 damage, it would be S tier for 1 versus 1 ice build. The floating cannon can be an S tier if we're talking about 1 versus 1 damage output, because their damage output on most cases are the top DPS. Let's say for example, I have these 2 people that I am in party with, and they are both whalers. The other one is a wizard fire, and of course the other one is a floating cannon ice. The floating cannon ice always out DPS the fire wizard. I'm not sure why. Well, to be honest, I do think that the burst damage of the floating cannon is more consistent than the wizard fire. That's why I could say the ice floating cannon is more stronger, or is an S tier if we're talking about 1 versus 1 damage. But again, if we're talking about overall AoE damage output, dungeon clearance, I would say it's above average if it is fire. But if we're talking about dungeon clearance, if you're very fast with clearing the dungeon on your own, you're solo, I would say B tier, because the other classes would outshine you very easily, or they could easily clear the dungeons faster than you. So yeah, even though you kill the bosses really easily, you need more time to clear the mobs, because we already know that the mobs are sometimes what do we call this, tougher than the bosses, for example, on the dragons, right? And Aqua Dragon, the mobs are tougher than the bosses. So that's one example. All right. So yeah, I do think we have the next one, and yes, it's the Guardian. For Guardian at the moment, I'm not really sure with his rank, but with the mastery level 30 that I have tried right now, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna put it in here. The I have tried his damage output without level 60 mastery, and it's the worst. I don't like it at all. It's, the damage is very low. It's not giving any burst feeling. It is not dealing a lot of damage. I do think that they have to rework the Guardian, but I think they don't need anymore, since at level 60 mastery, I would say it would become average or same as Ronin, because on the right path of the mastery of the Guardian, there is a lot of buffing to his skills, and it increases 30% of lightning damage, something. Yeah, so I do think that this Guardian will be able to deal decent amount of damage if he reaches mastery level 60. I'm not really sure if it's a C tier or a B tier, okay? Because I haven't tried it yet. But yeah, I would say only in these two areas. Yeah, so and of course the last one, we have our Bard. Bard right now is very controversial because of the new build that people had been theory crafting, and they made it into reality. And yeah, I would say Bard Lightning is one of the best builds for Bard as a DPS, because it is able to maximize the damage output of the ambient drone, and the ambient drone has a DOT if you will reach the level 60 mastery on the right path. So that is a very big deal for the Bard DPS, in all fairness, because if you don't have the level 60 mastery, you would miss a lot of damage output. And because at level 60 mastery, you also have unlimited red notes, if you know what I mean. You don't need to ballad every time you cast a skill, a DPS skill, because yeah, at level 60 mastery, it boosts the damage of your ambient drone, it boosts the damage of your attack skills, and so forth and so on. And my final verdict for Bard, I would say average. It is not above average, I swear to you. I mean, if Wizard and Bard have the same gears, Wizard can out DPS or outshine Bard pretty easily. But if Bard has more gears, more geared than the Wizard, well, of course, they can be on the same level. But if they have the same gears, Bard is lower. That's what I can say, to be honest. Because, yeah, it's the same with the other classes. Because Bard is not that very bursty. It does deal burst damage with the ambient drone and some other skills, together with the whirlwind, but it's not as easy to achieve with a Wizard, because with just average gears, Wizard can easily deal burst damage with the Stellar Sphere Physical and the Starcaller Nebula. So yeah, I do think that is more fair judgment. So yeah, I'm quite bothered with guard. I really hate it at the moment because I was upgrading my plus 20 sword and shield earlier, and I was quite excited. I thought that it is as strong as bard if I'm going to infuse tier on his skills, and then I saw that the guardian has a lot of lightning skills. I was very excited, but then when I tried it, I was is this the DPS of the guardian with the plus 20 weapon? Like, it's so off. Like, to be honest, it's not like the stellar sphere. If you have a plus 20 physical weapon, it deals so much damage, guys. But of course, you also need a level 60 mastery. But maybe if guardian has a level 60 mastery, it could be above average or average or S tier. I'm not really sure because I haven't really tried yet. But if you guys have any idea of how the guardian, deal damage if he has a level 60 mastery, do let me know. Comment down below with your opinions about the guardian. So yeah, I'm just gonna put it right here and just because he wasted my golds. And just because I only have level 30 mastery. So yeah, for Ronin, yeah, I feel bad with Ronin, but I do think that even Ronin players are complaining about their class, so I think this is justifiable. It's not really my own fault that I put it on C, just because most of the Ronin players that I know are complaining with their class that other classes can outshine them really easily. So yeah, well, I think that's it for today, guys, and I hope that if you have some violent reactions with this tier list, just let me know. Comment down below, attack me or whatever. But well, in all honesty, this is just my own opinion, guys. Please don't attack me. Well, yeah, again, floating cannon, there are 3 rankings that I ranked before earlier, right? If you are just going to 1 versus 1, it's S tier. If it's just fire AoE overall output in AoE and 1 versus 1 or bosses, it's above average. But if just if it's just ice build with doing solo party mode, I would say it's just average because it doesn't have any AoE. It doesn't deal much AoE skills. It cannot clear the mobs quite easily. So yeah, and once again, this is Jack, and thank you very much for watching our video today. Don't be shy to comment down your violent reactions or violent comments. I'm very open for all the ideas that you might have or opinions to the classes that we have right now. And yeah, again, this tier list is about how you're able to deal damage or clear the dungeon in a solo way, also as an F2P low spender. But maybe in the next video I can also make a list for the whaler, a whaler version, right? So yeah, and that's it, and thank you very much. See you in the next video. Bye bye.